Welcome back. The Lakers offseason is continuing after a non-competitive series against the Thunder. The Lakers did get Austin Reeves back from injury, but never saw Luka Doncic on the floor. LeBron took over, averaging just over 23 points per game, but it wasn't enough to get past the defending champs, of course. And so here's the King reflecting on that series. Listen.
This year, we fought and we played it to the maximum ability of our team. But ultimately, if we're being completely honest, we were out-talented. We were not outworked. We were not, they didn't out-physical us. They didn't outsmart us. I feel like we were just out-talent, by OKC. They just possessed so much more talent.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the playoffs. The Thunder won all 8 games against the Lakers this season during the regular season as well. Are these comments fair or foul by LeBron James, Stephen A?
I don't want to use the word foul like he's lying to anybody, but damn it, I have no choice. I think I don't agree with him. I think he's right. They were clearly out-talented. But to say they weren't outworked, even LeBron James was probably going to sit back right in this moment and be like, damn, he got a point. When I say this, DeAndre Ayton's on your squad, bro. I mean, really, we going to sit up here and say that, you know what, y'all weren't outworked? Like, really? Yeah, that's what we going to do? DeAndre Ayton was on your squad. LeBron, stop. Just stop that. Then listen, here's the thing that I would say, and I appreciate where LeBron is coming from. But he's not entirely accurate. We've seen the frustration on J.J. Redick's face this year on many, many occasions. It wasn't just due to a lack of efficiency. It was due to a lack of effort. There have been plenty of times when we've looked at the Los Angeles Lakers and we've questioned their effort. Not LeBron, because LeBron takes care of himself. And I think the thing that should bother, LeBron, that should bother everybody. Listen, everybody can't be LeBron. But you can certainly strive to emulate him in terms of his work ethic if you're a teammate. When you sit up there and there's a difference between getting ready and staying ready. LeBron is always ready because he always takes care of himself. He knows good and damn well he's got cats on the Los Angeles Lakers that use the season to get ready, use the season to get in shape. He knows that. All right, DeAndre Ayton is just an obvious answer. Some would say Luka. Others would look at Austin Reeves, whose skill set obviously has improved every single year, but in the same breath, you kind of look at him wondering when he's been in the weight room. You're looking at other cats and wondering what level of dedication that they put forth that doesn't match their leader in LeBron James. I don't think anybody looks at the Los Angeles Lakers and say, oh, OKC just has more talent than the Los Angeles Lakers. You saw a team that was more focused, more dedicated, more committed to excellence than the Los Angeles Lakers were. I think that's clearly obvious, but LeBron didn't want to admit that, and I understand.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong, S.A., and I'm 1,000. I agree with LeBron James 1,000%. He's not lying. J.J. Redick maxed out the players that he had. Like Jackson Hayes came into the game and gave max effort, right? Like Rui Hachimura gave max effort. LeBron James wasn't lying when it comes to they were out-talented because when you look at the league now, LeBron knows what it takes to win the NBA championship, right? You know what it needs. You need a handful of two-way players. Can you name me a two-way player on the Los Angeles Lakers? Can you name me one that's going to get stops and be able to put the ball in the basket? I can name you a few on the New York Knicks. I can name you several on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I can even name you 5 or 6 on the San Antonio Spurs. So when you think about the Lakers, they didn't make the moves, and that was a shot again at Rob Pelinka and Jimmy Buss because y'all didn't make the moves at the trade deadline to put yourself in position to actually go out there and compete with the best of them. And that's why J.J. Redick was caught in 4K on the bench saying, I can't play him. And he was talking about DeAndre Ayton because they didn't have the talent.
It's a semantic essay because I think you both are right here in this one.
It's a what?
Samantha.
I like that. I like that. That's that Duke
Well,
stuff.
Because I'm going to give you something. I used to think talent was always with the skill set of the player. It wasn't until I got to the league that I saw talent is also in your effort and your hustle.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a part of talent. Because like Ben Wallace used to say this all the time. He's like, yo, if I hang around the rim, if I give you effort, and if I get you 2 rebounds per quarter, I'm going to end up with 8 rebounds. If I give you 3 rebounds per quarter, I'm going to end up with 12. If I set a couple of screens, I get a couple of offensive rebounds, I get 4, I'm going to get 8 points off offensive putbacks. And I was like, oh my God, effort is translating into talent. It's an aspect of talent. So that's how I look at basketball. That's why I would agree with LeBron. But also, LeBron's not going to say all the things that SA said because he may come back to that team next year. And he had to think about who he's coming back to if he does.
Right. Quick final word, SA.
I'm just saying, listen, I didn't say LeBron was wrong by saying they were out-talented. I'm just saying that ain't the only reason. That might be the biggest reason because that's what it comes down to. But that wasn't the only reason. Big Perk, you watched the Lakers all the time this year. So did I and what have you. There were plenty of nights when we looked at, and not him, but we looked at others and it was like, yo, that effort ain't there. The Southern California sunshine, you
But not
understand,
in the
palm
postseason.
trees, all
But
that
not-
kind of stuff. Not in the postseason. Well, yeah, but if you did it in the regular season and you didn't dedicate yourself, it's going to affect you come postseason
Okay.
because you didn't prepare.
That's a valid point. That's a
you
valid
didn't
point.
prepare.
Game 4
You
felt
ain't got
like
to get
they
all
gave
truculent today.
Game 4.
It's very intoxicating out here. There are a lot of distractions. You got to be focused. You got to be focused.
I was going to say, in Game 4, it felt like the Lakers gave them all the effort they possibly could, the Lakers. It was probably too little too late, and obviously it wasn't enough talent-wise either. Coming up here, Josh Hart went off on the court last night and also off of it as well. What he said.
Just an awesome week here on Get Up. Thank you
I
for
should have said I had
watching.
to use
As
the bathroom
always.
for this segment.
Sneaky Darius, since 2000, which team has made the most NBA Finals appearances? Brian Windhorst, take your best
Well,
shot.
Peter, I can tell you it ain't the Knicks.
Okay.
This is a stimulus package. It's a stimulus package for me because
Stimulus package.
I mean, it's not even that sneaky. Let's be honest. I mean, I've covered the league for the 25 years. My God.
Hello.
Okay. If I get this wrong, I think we have to have an agreement that I never do trivia
Done.
again for
Retired.
the summer. For the summer.
Retired.
If this is not the Lakers, I'm taking sick leave.
The reveal is the Lakers.
All right. I could have used the leave, to be honest with you.
Could have
It's not that
sandbagged it.
sneaky.
You could have sandbagged it. You could have done it. That's it. Good job.
Next time they're going to ask me the day of the week, and it's going to be multiple choice.
Darius is just getting clobbered here. Guys, last night the Cavs lost. They're in an 0-2 hole. Stephen A. had some thoughts on SportsCenter talking about the Cavs' performance.
I was incredibly alarmed, flabbergasted as to how anemic Cleveland's defense was. Did you see how wide open Josh Hart was? You're just looking at Cleveland and like, hello, do you not know that this is the Eastern Conference Finals? That, you're 4 wins away from going to the NBA Finals? Where's the level of urgency and what have you? You didn't see that from Cleveland at all.
Alan, it was an all-time collapse in Game 1, and then they were tied for much of the first half and then fell apart in the second half. Your thoughts to Stephen A's commentary?
Well, let's look at the minutes played and the fact that they have gone every other day. They played 2 Game 7s, and right now, after last night, James Harden is leading the NBA in minutes in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell is number 2. Evan Mobley is number 4 on that list. The first Knick that comes up is 10th, Jalen Brunson.
Wow.
There's only one Knick in the top 15 in minutes played in the playoffs, and the Cavs have 4 guys. So just look at the numbers. Look at the amount of playing time they've had to play, and you see a team that is starting to run out of gas. Will they get fueled up by going home? They have in the playoffs before, and that's what we got to see in Game 3.
I'm going to say that I don't think the Cavs lost this game on defense last night because the Cavs are probably not going to win games against the Knicks with their defense. They're going to win the games with their offense. They're going to outscore them. James Harden is not going to stop Brunson. They're going to get head-to-head, and Brunson's going to win that matchup most of the time. The way the Cavs win, the way they got to the conference finals is by scoring. And actually, Harden and Mitchell didn't have a bad offensive game last night. They had 44 points combined, 1 turnover. Guys, that's
For them,
awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. They'd like to have a couple more points, but that's awesome. They only had 3 assists. They only had 3 assists because nobody else could make
Nobody
a
else was making
shot.
a shot.
So you look at the coming off the bench, they go their bench is 1 of 15 on threes. that's no way to win. The Cavs are going to have to win by scoring 115 plus points.
And you're looking at guys, Merrill, who is killing the Knicks in game one. And of course, you know you can usually rely on Wade for a big shot. They all were absent in this one. Joe, I turn to you as someone who looks at it from the bigger picture here. Pen or pencil, the Knicks are going to the finals. Like, pen.
Pen. You don't even need to finish the question. Pen.
Here's my pen.
It's the idea of everything you just listed with the rest and everything else. The Knicks are going to have a game in this series. I would think it'd be game 3 where the shooting just isn't there. They just shot 52% from the floor. At some point, that's going to fall off a little bit. And the Cavs are going to get hot. That's a good three-point shooting team. We saw something similar in the series against Detroit. They go down 0-2. Everyone shovels dirt on their grave, and then they come out and they win 2 more. They're not going to battle back to compete in this series, but they're going to grab at least 1. Knicks handle it in 5.
What do you think?
So I would just say that obviously it looks that direction, but I have some gray hair now, and I've seen some things in the league, and I've seen 2 games happen, and people make declarative statements. Obviously, the Knicks look like the better team. As I said to you, if you're a Knicks fan, you should keep June open. But the Cavs have repeatedly shown resilience in this postseason, and they have 2 future Hall of Famers who can win you a game they probably shouldn't win. So I would just say, until it gets to 3, I would just ease on it and say by saying pen.
That's exactly
We were talking 94 Knicks. They were up 2-0, but there was Michael Jordan on the other side. I don't know if these guys have Michael Jordan.
Yeah, 93.
93, sorry.
Yeah, the 93 series, the Starks dunk, it was all at the Garden, and everybody thought things were going to turn. And then, of course, other things happened in that series that are unspeakable, and we don't want to talk about them right now. But the other thing to look at is the law of averages, right? They've won 9 straight playoff games. Let me repeat. They've won 9 straight playoff games. At some point, you're going to have a clunker. At some point, game 1 was supposed to be the clunker. They got that one. So what happens in game 3, I don't think dictates what's going to happen the rest of the series. But at some point, you have to expect that this is going to run out. At least that's what a lot of people are waiting for, the other shoe to drop. But maybe, just maybe, this team is that good.
They play Saturday. They play Monday. Here are 3 names, though, we want you to know heading into